Okay, I am Shirley Green, and I am the director of the Toledo Police Museum, and I am an adjunct professor at Bowling Green State University. Well, the title of my book is Revolutionary Blacks, Discovering the Frank Brothers, Freeborn Men of Color, and Soldiers of Independence. And the book is part family history and part micro-history. It is a story about two of my ancestors who fought in the Revolutionary War for the Continental Army in the Rhode Island regiments. Well, Cyrus Tiffany is a really interesting example of how black soldiering and black military service occurred during that period of the Revolutionary era and then the early Republic era. During the Revolutionary War, the Continental Army, for the most part, black soldiers served in integrated regiments, and they served alongside of white soldiers and in the Revolutionary War, Native American soldiers during that period of time. Now, there were some circumstances of segregation, but for the most part, they were not banned completely and totally from service in the Continental Army. The National Congress of the United States in 1792 passed something called the Uniform Militia Act. And what that act did was it bound white men from the ages of 18 to 45 to serve, if need be, for the national defense. And that act barred the enlistment of black soldiers. But as the War of 1812 took hold, in the first year of the war was mostly, the major battles were mostly fought on land. The second year of the war, the battlegrounds changes to the ocean and the waters, right? So they're fighting major battles in the Atlantic Ocean, and they're fighting major battles in the Great Lakes. What started to occur is they allowed black sailors to enlist. So they actually enlisted and recruited and enlisted black sailors to serve on those boats. And Oliver Hazard Perry had a crew of over 400 to 500 sailors that worked under him. And a quarter of those sailors were black sailors like Cyrus Tiffany. Tiffany was very pivotal and important to winning the Battle of Lake Erie, along with other black sailors that worked for Oliver Hazard Perry. And the War of 1812 has been called by historians the Second American Revolution, because we're fighting the same, entity again. We're fighting the British Empire again. So winning on the Great Lakes and Oliver Hazard Perry and his sailors, that big win in the Battle of Lake Erie, solidified the fact that America would maintain control of the Great Lakes, in particular Lake Erie. I think it's just interesting to note that you had individuals like Cyrus Tiffany and other veterans, black veterans of the Revolutionary War, whose services were not used early on during the War of 1812. And it wasn't until the second year of the war, in 1813, that they decided that maybe we need their help, maybe we need the help of these men, these black men on these ships in the Great Lakes to win the war. Wow. A good starting point is always the local history department of your library. And then I would double check and see what type of local museums are located where you live. So there's a lot of historical sites that are around Lucas County that you can learn a lot about.
Brought to you locally by Dale Riggs Funeral Home. Funerals as unique as your life.